A vending machine for pens was actually dispensing crack pipes, according to officials in Brookhaven, N.Y., town of Brookhaven. By Antonia Nouri Farzan. Antonia Nouri Farzan, reporter for Morning Mix. Email bio follows. September 12. The vending machines began appearing in the Long Island suburb of Brookhaven without any explanation. One showed up outside a landscaped apartment complex next door to a mini golf course, according to local news reports. Another turned up by a bus stop outside a strip mall that, in recent years, has featured Chinese and Jamaican restaurants, a Dominican hair salon and a storefront advertising "We Buy Gold." The third was found near another shopping plaza at a busy intersection with a Home Depot, Family Dollar, Dunkin' Donuts and Advance Auto Parts. Each of the blue metal boxes was attached to the ground with concrete and had a metal slot that held $2 worth of quarters. Pens, one said. Others advertised sketch pens, or, even more ambiguously, S-pens. But what they really contained were crack pipes. Calls about the strange vending machines started coming into Brookhaven Town Hall last week, Councilman Michael Lagercio said at a Monday news conference. At first, it seemed like nothing more than a standard zoning violation. Many people had thought within the community that because it was the first week of school, that perhaps they were actually selling pens, he said. When a local fire chief popped in 8 quarters on Friday, though, what came out was not an ordinary pen. Several filter screens were stuffed inside. When the pen was disassembled, its glass tube could be used as a pipe, officials said at Monday's news conference. In other words, it was a crack stem, some assembly required. "You think you've heard of everything," Ed Romaine, Brookhaven's town supervisor, said while shaking his head. "I continue to be surprised by the audacity of those that would break the law in promoting drugs and drug paraphernalia. Wow, you learn something new every day." Suffolk County. On the site of the road next to bus stops a crack pipe vending machine really posted by Anthony Minicini on Friday, August 31, 2018. Town officials believe the machines were originally tampon dispensers and had been ripped out of public bathrooms, WMRA reports. Installing each one would have required digging an 8-inch hole and filling it with concrete. "It's a lot of work to do for a prank," Lagercio said at Monday's news conference. So who was behind the audacious, and fairly laborious, scheme? How did they decide where to install the machines, and how did they avoid detection while doing so? How much money had they made before the vending machines were removed? Those questions will be up to Suffolk County Police to investigate, town officials said Monday. Police will also determine whether the individuals responsible will end up facing criminal charges, rather than simply being fined for a zoning violation for installing the vending machines on public right-of-ways without the appropriate permits. "Obviously, it's not illegal to sell a pen," Lagercio said. "However, this is considered drug paraphernalia." New York State Assemblyman Dean Murray, who represents Brookhaven, added, "I don't remember ever buying a pen that came with a pack of filters, so I think it's obvious what the use was intended for." Posted by Desiree McNamara on Sunday, September 9, 2018. Residents who figured out the vending machine's real purpose were outraged, Brookhaven Public Safety Commissioner John Meehan said Monday. An unidentified resident reportedly destroyed